Hello everybody, how are you doing? Apologies for being late. I'm almost 15 minutes late, but yeah, apologies for being late. And I can already see Rodri coming off the bench. Why is it? Is Manuel Akanji injured? Well, I hope it's not a uh the tackle on Akanji looks nasty to be honest. On first look, it looks absolutely nasty. Don't know how long John Stones is out injured now. Akanji also gone, so Matthews Nunez coming on and I'm sorry, it's not Rodri, it's Matthews Nunes. Of course, Rodri is not there due to personal reason. It's Matthews Nunes, it's not Rodri. Akanji off. Uh, Not the kind of star that Pep Guardiola would have hoped for, to be honest, but don't know where we are with the John Stones injury, to be honest. No updates on Pep's press conference as well. Interesting that Huddersfield Town is playing a high line as well. Lot of teams, lot of the lower rung teams against City as well are playing very high lines. Some would say it's very naive of them, but I would say it's actually brave of them to be doing that. Not even brave, in some aspects, it even makes sense to do that because a good team, if you sit on a low block, can break you out eventually, but in a high block, you can rush them sometimes into making mistakes and they give the ball quick counter attack. Oscar Bob on the right, Rico Lewis playing his traditional right back and not an inverted one. Kovacic, Nunez, Rico Lewis. Ruben Diaz again. Rico Lewis is seeing a lot of the ball. Sergio Gomez is. I'm interested to see Sergio Gomez's position is almost taking up that right wing position, and Jack Grealish is playing as an inside midfielder, inside right attacking midfielder. Now that Akanji is gone off, I think it's all the more interesting. I think you'll finally see Josko Guardiola playing in that centre back position. I'll just try to get the lineup somewhere because it's not goal.com to be honest. But the one positive thing in this match is actually playing Josko Guardiola in that center back position and not on the left back position. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs. It might be Huddersfield, but they're pressing high, they're playing high. There is absolutely they're pressing high, they're playing narrow. There's absolutely no space in the middle. The space is all out wide. Yes, City have the ball, but look at that. Matthews Nunes nudged off the ball. Pep will not like it. You cannot be nudged off the ball like that. I know he's chasing it. He's done well. He's done absolutely well there. Matthews Nunes. He's nudged the player who nudged him off the ball, if that makes sense. But he's done very well there, Matthews Nunes. Pep will like the spirit. This is how you can change Pep's mind, to keep playing you. This is the reason why Calvin Phillips has got only 89 minutes this entire season, and Matthews Nunes, he's been here for 4 months and he's played 10 times more minutes than Calvin Phillips. This is the reason. Calvin Phillips has never shown, this attitude of, that extra competitiveness and things which Matthews Nunes has just now showed. So Oscar Bob, interesting. Both of City's fullbacks are playing out wide. I mean narrow, and both of City's wingers in Grealish and Oscar Bob are playing inside as inside forwards almost. Now I don't know if the Pep is just trying it for this game or this will be a theme this season. Don't know at all. The last thing Pep would want in this match is a replay. So I guess none of us would want that, to be honest. Oscar Bob on the ball. Rico Lewis. Seeing a lot of ball, Rico Lewis. I think you have to get the ball on one side and switch the ball fast on the other side, to be honest. That is one way to break this low block. The idea was right from Rico Lewis, but the weight on the pass was too much. Oscar Bob just couldn't get there. I think that is the pattern you'll see. City out wide and especially on the right hand side, Rico trying to roll in Oscar Bob because I do not see any creativity in a midfield. Kovacic, Nunez, just Foden's there, but apart from that, there's absolutely no creativity in the midfield at all. Again, Rico being bundled over the ball. Pep would not like Huddersfield being much more, physically dominant than City, to be honest. That is what Pep is indicating as well. How can you just be bundled over the ball like that? Absolutely zero time on the ball for Phil Foden. Nothing for Julian Alvarez. That's a loose pass from Huddersfield Town and Matthews Nunez. He's picked out Sergio Gomez. Sergio Gomez is, I think, playing in one of his best positions, which is left winger, though he's technically not. But the way Huddersfield Town are sitting back, could say Sergio Gomez might enjoy one of his best positions, which he'll get at City this time, which is left wing. Ruben Diaz, Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob. He's given the ball on the inside to Oscar Bob. That was the ball. I bet they were planning for that ball even in training because Lewis gets the ball, Oscar Bob goes inside, and Lewis plays it inside. Bet they're practicing it. You can see he's tried it 2-3 times now. They would have just practiced it in training. And that was a dangerous ball as well. It's just that no one was there in the box to react to it. I would love to see Sergio Gomez get such a chance. Again, the ball inside to Oscar Bob. Look at it. Rico, just switch it and let Sergio try that ball. Again, Rico Lewis. There's no one on the inside, so Lewis decides to go backwards. Phil Foden. Yes, that is what you do when you have good creative players. Ah, Grealish was trying to curl it in, but the ball just wouldn't curl enough. Rico Lewis does well. The referee is good actually. He's allowing the play to flow without the situation getting out of control. But Mateo Kovacic to Rico Lewis. That's almost a very good ball from Rico Lewis, but that is excellent control from Sergio Gomez, to be honest. That is wonderful control from Sergio Gomez. The fact that Pep Guardiola started Sergio Gomez today tells you a lot. There's a cliche and a saying at City that Pep just doesn't throw away minutes. It doesn't matter if it's a community shield or a friendly match. Each minute Pep gives you, you have to earn it. So him starting Sergio Gomez right from the off, not even a substitute, tells you a lot. Tells you a lot, to be honest. Sergio Gomez for the first time, he gets on the ball and what a ball that is. What a ball that is. That's why we've told City to get Sergio Gomez the ball. Get Sergio Gomez on the ball. Just look at it. His crosses into the box are just superb. Just look at what Sergio Gomez has did. That's a superb ball across. I know it's good defending from Huddersfield down, but that's a great ball across. I think one of the best balls across all season that you've seen till now from City. And it's a foul on the Huddersfield goalkeeper, but Sergio Gomez has been very, very good in that one instance. I remember that game against United last season, I think at Old Trafford, where we won 6-3. It's for Haaland's hat trick. Sergio Gomez crosses one and Haaland hits it first time. And again, I saw that and I thought, why is this guy not playing more? There are a lot of rumors about Sergio Gomez leaving the club, this, that, in the January window, summer and all. But the fact that Pep is starting him in this match means Pep sees Sergio Gomez having a future here, this club. His offensive play is very, very good. You could put Sergio Gomez offensive play on par with some of the best fullbacks around the world, not just in the league. If you just see, it's not for nothing that I know it was just the under 23 World Cup, but he was the top scorer in that. He was up there in the assists as well, so there must be something. Jack, give it to Sergio, give it to Sergio, Jack, give it to Sergio. Ah, every time Sergio Gomez is getting on the ball, something's happening. I know it's 29 minutes gone, no breakthrough for City. It's at the Etihad. We are the holders, we are the champions. But good to see Huddersfield down actually. I'll just come in a while. I'll just come in a minute. I'm sorry for that, but City regained the ball back. Rico Lewis, Mateo Kovacic, Oscar Bob. Sorry, it's Matthews Nunez and Oscar Bob's gone in. Rico Lewis is gone in. This is interesting. Pep putting as good shot by Foden, but probably took a deflection and the sting out of that was removed. Pep would not like this to go to a replay, but if there was no deflection, it probably was sneaking in on the far corner. I don't know, but City rotating the ball well. Josko Guardiol back to Stefan Ortega. Ortega to Rico Lewis. Lewis is coming in. That has been the theme of the match. Ortega to Guardiol, Guardiol to Lewis, and Lewis to Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob attempting a cross across. That has been the theme of the game. Sergio Gomez. Ruben Diaz, there's some space up front there. Oscar Bob, what a ball that is! What a ball that was from Oscar Bob. Grealish to Sergio Gom, but what a ball that was from Oscar Bob, to be honest. His vision is something else. And what a goal! What a goal that is Phil Foden! Phil Foden's not stopping. That is virtually an impossible goal. That angle was close to impossible. You look at it. You look at it. You'd say he's a left footer. Is trying to curl it in, but you look at that angle again, and you'd think it's close to an impossible angle for that strike to happen. Just look at where Phil picks it up. That was a very difficult angle. That was a very difficult angle on the near post. Phil Foden had to hit it past the. That was my God. Even if the ball went to the near post, it was different. Off the far post, that was a mighty. That was close to an impossible angle. I only think of the mighty Sergio Aguero scoring from such tight angles. Not even Haaland, not even Alvarez. Maybe Alvarez can, but that was such an impossible angle. Gautam is here. He says blissful moment. It's eternal bliss, Gautam. It's eternal bliss with Phil Foden scoring. What a form. I mean, what form this guy is in, Phil Foden. Vinay says Foden. What a goal that is. That was close to impossible, Vinay. Vinay says, but I'm tired with slow wingers again. I can actually understand when I think you meant slow winger, which is Jack Grealish. Because I don't think Oscar Bob. I mean, I think it's a specific instruction given to Oscar Bob, but yeah, Jack Grealish every time is getting the ball is trying to still play backwards even with a low block. I don't understand Jack Grealish. JSK says Philip Waterford and scored. but I would say one thing, starting Sergio Gomez over Calvin Phillips, I think that sums up the career of Calvin Phillips in a nutshell. Just because Chelsea fans think Palmer is better than Ford. and just if you want to understand how Chelsea fans are, they won over Luton Town and Sheffield United in their previous two Premier League games, and they're thinking as if they are back and they're in contention for the title race or top four or something like that. That's how delusional Chelsea fans are. The only thing they know is ranting or being overjoyed, nothing in between. Chelsea fans are Chelsea fans. there's no in the middle thing between for them. I mean, with Cole Palmer, actually, the thing is interesting because because a few of my friends have also told me that isn't it have asked me that isn't selling Cole Palmer a mistake to Chelsea is performing so well. He's got so many assists, so many goals. He's winning you matches. But but my only question is Palmer out wide is useless. Palmer out wide doesn't provide you as much. Pep has given him one whole season. People don't remember that. Pep has given him one whole season and Palmer has not done anything out wide. And playing centrally, I mean, you have Foden, you have KDB ahead of you, and Palmer wanted instant gaming time. What do you expect City to do? Do you expect City to tell Foden or KDB that please you go and play out on the right wing because Cole Palmer will play centrally? Foden's been in this squad before Cole Palmer's been born, and so I mean, we wish all the best for Palmer's career, but it was never a mistake. Whatever has happened, it's never a mistake because there was no space centrally. Cole Palmer, what a ball! What a ball! That is what a ball! What a ball! Ah! Julian Alvarez! What a goal! Woo! By the way, whose assist is it? And how did the ball go in? And how did the bloody ball go in? I think it was Rico Lewis with the assist. I think it's Rico Lewis with the assist, to be honest. How did that ball just go in? Julian Alvarez. Gotham, your bliss is just working. It's an overdrive. But how did we play through such tight spaces? There was no one who was offside over there. He's on. Rico Lewis is on, and Julian Alvarez striking instance. That is just super. But the ball through from Matthews Nunez was very good. Matthews Nunez. I think it's Matthews Nunez. I think it's Matthews Nunez if I'm not wrong. No, it's Rico Lewis. It's Rico Lewis with the final ball. Nunez made the initial pass, but it's Rico Lewis with the final ball. What a ball from Rico Lewis. Coutinho says that's the advantage of playing Foden centrally. He can get the shooting opportunities more often. But then the downside to it, Coutinho, is I think Foden has learned a bit more now. I'll tell you when he has learned it. But with Phil Foden, I think Pep tried him centrally, but he would lose the ball and it would lead to a transition. When KDB loses the ball, KDB doesn't lose the ball in areas that lead to transition. Yes, he can try through balls, but there has to be a time, there has to be a tempo when you try those through balls. That's the difference between David Silva, KDB, and Phil Foden playing centrally. But after that Crystal Palace game, to be honest, we dropped 2 points because of Phil Foden in the Crystal Palace game. Foden himself came to the press conference and he told that uh, it's me who has caused the side 2 points. I think after that game, Phil Foden has learned. Like Pep said, it's been a learning curve that's come to the end. People saying Foden's learned after the Crystal Palace game, and it was a hard lesson. But you see him now, and he's maintaining the tempo well. He's doing certain things well. He's playing those through balls in a measured way, not whenever he wants. He is not dribbling just like that. So I think that Palace game sometimes you need a thing to hit you hard before you realize what the manager wants. And that Palace game for me is a turning point in Foden convincing Pep that he can play centrally. To be honest. Coutinho says this is just a continuation of the Foden shooting show after Everton. Honestly, Coutinho, we did not deserve a goal against Everton before Phil Foden had that shot. It was from nothing. There was no chance creation, nothing. He picked up the ball and he shot. When you see players like that, you just think these are world class players. They can make something happen out of nothing. I'm convinced that Phil Foden is a overrated talent. Sorry. I'm convinced that Phil Foden is a very underrated talent. My bad. And I think Phil Foden for me is of the level of Jude Bellingham, to be honest. I know many people don't agree with me, but he's way underrated right now. And 2 more years he plays centrally, and he is almost at the level of Jude Bellingham. Why I say this? He can make things happen out of nothing. Literally, he can make things happen out of nothing. He is as big a talent, if not a bigger talent, than Jude Bellingham, to be honest. Vinay says Watford and compared with Palmer, let him play a season. Vinay, I've even seen a Chelsea fan who was telling that Phil Foden is the most overrated player that he has ever seen. My foot. Phil Foden for me is the most underrated player that you have ever seen, that you should ever see, because he doesn't come into the conversations of. I mean, I would say that Phil Foden is a bigger talent than Martin Odegaard, and Arsenal fans don't agree with it. Phil Foden is a much bigger talent than Martin Odegaard. And those idiots were right. Londoners are there, they're so delusional. And they were comparing bloody Odegaard to Kevin De Bruyne last time around when we were in the title race. When I says those Londoners are delusional, they were Martin Odegaard was being compared to Kevin De Bruyne. When we won the title in last season, and there's that City's title run 22-23 season on YouTube, a compilation of all our highlights throughout the season. There was someone in the comments writing, "Thank you, Man City, for saving football from these delusional fans. Otherwise, these delusional Arsenal fans. Otherwise, we have to live with them forever." By the way, transfer news, guys. Joshua, it's the 41st minute. City are 2-0 up. It's as comfortable of a evening that we have seen in a long time. To be honest, I think. Otherwise, it was all tension, right? The Crystal Palace game was tense. The Sheffield game was in a way tense. We got the second goal in the 70th minute or so. It was tense. Sheffield United had the chance to make it 1-1 or so. The Everton game it was it was very very tense. So the last 1 or 2 months of fixtures were just a roller coaster ride. But anyway, regarding the transfer news, there's some interesting piece of thing. Joshua Kimmich is being strongly linked to us. There have been three, four, five sources who are good sources uh, telling that Joshua Kimmich wants Man City, but it's not in January; it's the summer. So and at 25 million pounds because his contract is almost running out. I now know that he's German. It won't be easy to price German talents. I mean German players away from Bayern Munich, but I mean for Joshua Kimmich to City to happen, I think Thomas Tuchel should not get the sack. I think at least till the start of next season because there have been two or three outbursts by Thomas Tuchel telling that Joshua Kimmich is not a good central midfield player. He is not one of the best CDM like everyone thinks and all of that thing. Tuchel it seems hates Joshua Kimmich. I don't know if it's on a personal level or something like that. Surely not on a footballing level, but I think if Tuchel gets the sack, we are not getting Joshua Kimmich. But then if Tuchel remains in charge till the summer at least, I think we get Joshua Kimmich for 25 million pounds for sure. Vinay says I've seen Kova is contributing in attack as well as defense, mainly tracking back. I think Vinay, it's interesting with Mateo Kovacic because Mateo Kovacic is he started off the season very well. Start and he is almost fitted our system like a glove fits a hand, and then he's got injured and then he's been shit. Especially in that Arsenal game. From that Arsenal game, he's been shit for a while, and now it seems that he's completely shaken off that injury and Kovacic again looks to be very good. I think, but during that time, I think we as fans, even me included, I think we were a bit early to write Kovacic off, telling that Kovacic has not been a good signing and stuff. But I was just thinking about this and about this Kovacic signing, and I think when I think back to the summer when we signed Kovacic, I was like, Pep is signing Kovacic to. I mean, whenever a summer transfer window comes, I always think, why is Pep going for certain profiles of a player? And this time, I think it was we had difficulty breaking the low block last time a bit. And Kovacic is and with Haaland is there, his runs behind the defenders, we were not able to utilize him much. And Kovacic is a player who for me breaks the lines with his passes. His and he he is almost you just he's unpressable. So I think Pep had bought Kovacic for an all season type of a player, can break the low blocks, can catch Haaland's runs. He's also unpressable if a team plays a high block. So I think Kova is back to his best, and I think Kovacic in this Pep Guardiola team, he can be something else. To be honest, he will be a beast. I'm sure if Kova gets a run of games, people at the end of the season will say, what a scouting effort from City, what a scouting effort from Pep. I'm not scouting effort, but what a signing from Pep Guardiola and stuff. MCFC TV says, yes, yes, mate, how are you? Big up to the boys in blue. I'm good, mate. I'm good, mate. MCFC TV, how are you? How are you doing? How you doing, mate? And yeah, big up to the boys. It's one of the most relaxing evenings we are having here as a community because since the last 3 months, it's just been tension, tension, tension watching City. I mean, we love it. We love watching the club play, but it's been so much of Blood pressure rising matches the last 3 months for us. JSK says, by the way, where is Haaland? JSK, I think Erling Haaland is already off to Dubai to enjoy, sorry, Abu Dhabi, to enjoy his warm weather training. I think he's already off. I don't think Pep starts Haaland for the Newcastle game. I think Pep he continues playing with Alvarez, and then I think after the break we get Haaland and fully recouped and fully fit, raring to go from February. And doesn't the month of February rise ominous signs? Because last season we were gone and out of the title race. We were everything bad was happening till January the 31st. Cancelo leaving on the last day. What happened on February? I think February first week we faced Arsenal, and at the Emirates we defeated them and we went on a run that I'm sure still comes into the nightmares of Mikel Arteta. When Mikel Arteta sleeps, when Mikel Arteta gets up, the only thing Mikel Arteta has going on in his head is how City thrashed him playing well for just 4 months when they played well for 8 months before. Still, they couldn't get the title. Mikel Arteta is honestly scarred from what City did. People don't realize this, but having a title race with City can be scarring to teams. Look at what we did to that Liverpool team, and Klopp had to go through cycles to recover from title races with us. 2 years title race, 1 year down. 2 years title race, 1 year down. Liverpool and Arsenal, after just 1 year, they're like the wheels have come off. I mean, I wouldn't write them off at this stage. That would be delusional, and we are not those delusional London fans or something. But you can literally see what's happening with Arsenal. Vinay says Kova didn't have straight run of games. Exactly, exactly. And when I accept that Gundogan is a super player, and looking at what he's doing at Barcelona without Gundogan, I think Barcelona would be down in the dumps. They'll be 10th or 11th or even fighting relegation without Gundogan. I think when Barca fans will accept that, they are shit. They're absolute shit. So Gundogan's been a very good player, but I think with Kovacic you get an entirely different dimension. You get those line breaking passes, you get that control in the midfield. He's an excellent passer of the he can hold it on his own. So it's a completely different dynamic with Kovacic, and yeah, you're right. It was we just judged him too early. And when I've been guilty of that fact of judging him too early, to be honest, when I was like, what is this Kovacic doing? Especially that Arsenal game. I think he came on for that Spurs and Chelsea game a bit late, but honestly was injured and wasn't to full fitness. JSK says, is he watching the game? They haven't shown it, JSK. They haven't shown it. They've shown Kevin De Bruyne, they've shown Jeremy Doku. Of course, they're on the bench as well, so they will show them. But it's a chance, Alvarez shooting chance, but he scuffs it. But they haven't shown any pics of him in the stadium. So I don't think Erling Haaland's. I mean, he would be there at the game, I think. I don't know. Vinay says, saying Haaland's been rested. Haaland's been rested, Vinay. Rodri's been rested. I mean, not just this game, but generally, I know we have lost 4 or 5 games in which Rodri has not been there, but probably at the starting of the year, you would say Rodri will be rested for 5 games. City lose all of those 5 games, and and come the mid of January or the starting of February, City are level with Arsenal with a game in hand. Rodri 5 games less, five games we lose, and City are level with Arsenal with a game in hand. You take it, I think you take it because I mean, I think I will pay that price, losing those 5 games for giving Rodri rest at this time of the season, because through to the Champions League got a relatively comfortable draw in the round of 16, though it's football, you can never say never. And you're level on points with Arsenal and three behind Liverpool probably. So I think in this Rodri has been rested, KDB is rested, Haaland's been rested. Grealish for most parts have been rested. Kovacic, it looks like a fresh season for him. He's been rested a lot because most of it has been injury. John Stones, I hope he comes back fit for the second half. He's been rested, John Stones. How much has John Stones played for us this season? Mostly he's been out through injury. So I think I would take it in a way. JSK says, I never judge anyone till a year. I know JSK, I know you never judge anyone till a year except Edison. And and I would ask you please JSK, keep on judging Edison because because whenever you stop judging Edison, his level drops. Whenever you stop judging Edison, he's like he amounts to rubbish, he amounts to shit. So by the way, I think JSK today would be very happy because his favorite goalkeeper Ortega is playing. By the way, I would like to ask all of you guys a question again. Who do you think are the real title contenders this season? Because that this has been debated a lot. I know we have discussed this maybe in October something, and most of us here felt Arsenal are in there. Not many of us thought Liverpool because fair enough at that stage Liverpool weren't quite up there. But right now, who do you think are in the title race? What do you guys think? Countainia says, how bad is Akanji's injury? At least visually. It was a nasty tackle, Countainia. It was a nasty tackle where he went through a little bit of studs up from the Huddersfield defender and it would have been a straight red. It was a nasty tackle. But you know, there's been this a bit of a unique thing this season that there are many ACL in I mean this is not an ACL injury but generally there have been many ACL injuries and knee injuries happening this season where the players able to walk off the ground without crutches or without any support and then the next day it's been revealed that the injury is very serious. It's an ACL or a serious knee injury because in the past it was that if it was a serious injury you immediately knew that the players would have been assisted and stuff. So I think it's due to a lot of playing time. These kind of injuries are occurring. But Akanji's injury, honestly, just looking at it, he was able to walk off without any support, external support or something. Just the medical staff holding him. He was able to walk off well. So shouldn't be a serious one. But for me, I think it's this season that's been the unique thing. At the first instance, it didn't seem serious, but then it doesn't seem serious, but then it's revealed that it's a damn serious injury. Lucky that the Rodri injury was not serious for us. That against Fluminense, to be honest. Bayaji says Foden the undroppable. What a go! What form Foden is in, Bayaji? What form? and also I think for me that Crystal Palace match, and I've said it earlier as well today, but I think that Crystal Palace match is the turning point. Will be the turning point of entire Foden's career. It has to be the turning point because Foden till then was you'd say he was a happy-go-lucky young lad or something who I would say did not quite realize the responsibility of playing in that central midfield position. Like Foden makes a mistake on the right wing, the right back is there, the midfield players are there to protect you. But as a midfielder, if you make a mistake, the opposition is right at your defense, which generally is a 1v1 at City because we play so high. I think the Crystal Palace match when he tried to dribble, when he could have just passed it back and with 1 minute left or so, 30 seconds left, tried to dribble, lose the ball, Palace go on the other end, he makes a tackle and gives away penalty. So Foden single-handedly lost us 2 points in that game. He admitted it afterwards. So once Foden went through that experience, it would have been a very chastening experience. For me, it's almost like Euro finals, World Cup finals, you miss the penalty that costs your team the cup. So I think Foden went through that experience and they realized their responsibilities. Now you see, he exactly knows when to dribble, he plays in that midfield with more responsibility. Doesn't curtail his creativity, but plays with more responsibility. I think it's a new Foden. Foden before Crystal Palace and Foden after Crystal Palace. It's a new Foden. I would say for the second half of the season, we have a completely new player in Phil Foden. Vinay says maybe max 2 weeks, and I think Akanji deserves the rest. I think Vinay Akanji deserves the rest. I think until from he came on last season when we signed him, I think Akanji's been playing every match. I think he's played centre back, he's played right back. I don't remember, but I think he would have played even left back as well. He's done the John Stones role. I think Akanji's played in all the positions that Pep Guardiola could have thought of playing a defender in. But I think max 2 weeks, and the good thing is we'll maybe miss Newcastle, and then it's only February. So I think by the time we come to February first week or so, I think I actually expect Phil Foden to. Sorry, I expect our entire team to be fit. JSK says Liverpool. It's interesting you're saying Liverpool because Arsenal. I would not even discount Spurs in the title race. I wouldn't discount even Spurs in the title race because Spurs have gone through Madison injury, Van de Ven injury, Romero's as good as being injured because he's most of the time is out, hamstring injury. So I think Spurs with literally half their squad have have still kept the momentum on. So and come February, I think Spurs will just be 1 point behind Arsenal or so. So and Arsenal still haven't had any injuries. Arsenal still haven't suffered as much as the other teams. Every team I think has had injuries, maybe bar Liverpool. All the teams have had injuries except Arsenal. So like Bayaji says, Arsenal hasn't clicked this season, but they're still a threat. JSK says good thing is we already signed 5 centre backs. I think if given the chance, Pep will sign a sixth centre back as well. I think because there have been links with John Sinclair Todibo, I think from Nice. And I'm like, if we sign Todibo, that has to be. Then what are United doing if we sign Todibo? Because Todibo plays for Nice and Sir Jim is the owner of Nice. If we sign Todibo, then I don't even have words to speak, to be honest. But Bayaji, you're right. Arsenal haven't clicked this season, but still a threat. I just think, Bayaji, that Mikel Arteta this season has thought that has somehow bought into the hype which the football media, which the delusional London media, if you if you know who I'm referring to, but the delusional London media and stuff have bought into him, and he is thinking that he is the next best innovator in football, and he's like, he disrupted an entire midfield, and he bought Declan Rice, Kai Havertz for 70 million or so, and I think he just spoiled it himself. And and I think Arsenal fans also bought into the hype of Declan Rice. Declan Rice for me was never a attack. He never has any creativity. Arsenal fans are expecting Declan Rice to do that party role. Thomas Partey for me is he's a CDM, yes, but he has the creativity going forward. Declan Rice is just a CDM. He doesn't have the creativity going forward. And I think why Pep Guardiola wanted Declan Rice was for the John Stones role. There's never a chance Pep would play Declan Rice in the Rodri role. Declan Rice doesn't even have 25% of the creativity which Rodri has. You look at what Rodri does. Rodri just switches the play so much. He plays you through balls. He goes on and gets goals. And the biggest of matches on the world stage, Declan Rice, does he get you goals like Rodri does? No, no creativity, nothing. He just breaks up play. People might say I've lost my mind, but I would say Arsenal getting Calvin Phillips for 40-50 million pounds and Arsenal getting Declan Rice for 100-110 million pounds, it would have had the same effect on the team because Calvin Phillips can exactly do the role which Declan Rice is doing now, break up the play and man to man marking, break up the play, give passes forward. What is it that Declan Rice is doing more than Calvin Phillips? I don't know. But the transfer window again is actually interesting, like I've been mentioning. Joshua Kimmich is, and I mentioned this, and JSK also told that if Thomas Tuchel does not leave till the summer, Kimmich will come. But I'm just dreaming. I'm just wondering again that if Joshua Kimmich comes to City, wow, he's a great passer of the ball, and people think he's a CDM, but I think his role is much as a box to box midfielder playing aside Rodri. I think that is the best role. But I'm just dreaming of a midfield with Rodri, Joshua Kimmich, and Kevin De Bruyne. What a midfield that would be! That could probably be one of the greatest midfields English football has ever seen, to be honest. Rodri, Joshua Kimmich, Kevin De Bruyne. Because suddenly you're putting Rodri, the best stadium in the world, Joshua Kimmich, one of the the best central midfield player in the world, not one of the best, the best central midfield player in the world, and KDB, the best attacking midfield player in the world, and in front of them you put Erling Haaland, the best striker in the world, and behind them you put Ruben Diaz, the best centre back in the world. Wow, literally you have five players who are the best in their position at City. Uh, that is something else. But honestly, I don't think we get anything done in this winter transfer window, because I know Pep gave some hints that he might sign someone if Calvin Phillips leaves, but then I'm just sitting here and wondering, who will Pep sign if Calvin Phillips leaves? Especially when you've got the prospect of by the way, I would not have bought into this Joshua Kimmich rumors as much, but not I think Sam Lee reported on this, and then there's another TU1 journalist related to City, works for the Athletic as well. Uh, I mean, I can't remember his name, but was it Simon Stone? I don't know, but it might be Simon Stone, but I don't know. But even he said last summer Manchester City had a huge chunk of their budget set aside for a world class midfielder. And they were targeting someone in Germany. He didn't reveal the name, but he said Manchester City had a huge chunk of a budget for a generational player. They really wanted to go high on that midfield thing, but they somehow didn't. So and and probably I think we went for Lucas Paqueta since it didn't work out, but still again I'm convinced that if Pep got Lucas Paqueta, he would have converted him into someone like, I wouldn't say Joshua Kimmich level, but someone of that. He would have helped Lucas Paqueta reach another level, to be honest. So So I'm convinced it's either Florian Wirtz or it's either Florian Wirtz or it's either Lucas Paquet. Sorry, it's Joshua Kimmich, to be honest. But again, that is the question. If if Phil Foden's playing centrally, where do you think Florian Wirtz would fit in? Because KDB for me, I think he's still got 2 seasons in him at least. He's still got 2 seasons in him at least. Next season for sure, and the season after that as well. And then I maybe see him winding down a bit, but at least 2 seasons for KDB. And Florian Wirtz is not someone who is as hot as a molten iron Florian Wirtz, and I don't see Florian Wirtz, coming and sitting on the bench and stuff. And another interesting thing about this Florian Wirtz signing is we have signed Claudio Echeverri, who comes in on January the 2025. January 1st 2025. I think that's when he comes. Just like we got Julian Alvarez. So I think if you look at it, that Kevin De Bruyne has at least 2 seasons in him, or at least one more season in him after this. Just roundabout, it could be a good betting in time for Claudio Echeverri to come in, and Kevin De Bruyne slowly, winding off his career at City. Pep managing his minutes and Claudio Echeverri taking off the mantle from Kevin De Bruyne. So I think that is the plan. I think if you look at all of this, I don't think we're getting Florian Wirtz, to be honest. Just don't think we're getting Florian Wirtz, to be honest. Because what we've forgotten here is Phil Foden. And when people ask me, you're telling Claudio Echeverri the taking over the mantle from Kevin De Bruyne. What about Phil Foden? Phil Foden for me was never a Kevin De Bruyne successor. Phil Foden for me was always a Phil Foden for me was always a David Silva successor. And and for people saying, where will Foden play now and if KDB is come, there was an article on Daily Mail or something I read that the author was telling this has never been done before in football, where before by Pep Guardiola to play two attacking midfielders. I mean, I'm like, you're a highly paid journalist, just do some research. In 2000, in the Centurion season, what did Pep Guardiola do? The season afterwards, didn't Pep play both David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne centrally? That's when the concept of two number 10s have come. So there'll be no problem. Foden and De Bruyne will play together in that central attacking midfield position. City have kicked off the second half in the same way they have started the first half, and just look at Josko Guardiola looking so comfortable in that centre back position. I think just like Phil Foden said in that interview after Everton, when Guardiola needs to say, "Please, Pep, play me at centre back. That's all." KDB is warming up again, and the biggest cheer of the night is not for the two goals City scored, but it's for KDB warming up. City are just not letting Huddersfield off the ball. What a ball! I mean, excellent attempt from Phil Foden. Jack Grealish making that inside run. This could actually be a norm of the season with Jack Grealish making that inside run. Oscar Bob on the ball. Oscar Bob cutting in. Oscar Bob last minute the ball was taken away. I think Oscar Bob just thought he had more time than he thought. But Kovacic has been excellent. Kovacic has been so good in this game, to be honest. Phil Ford, Enrico Lewis, Alvarez now going out wide. Julian Alvarez, Sergio Gomez. Again a good ball, but you probably needed Erling Haaland on that ball, to be honest. Ball pass back to the goalkeeper, and the Huddersfield Town striker is on his way, I think, but it's offside anyway. He was offside. Must have been a clear offside, otherwise the linesman would not have flagged it. Must have been a clear offside. Josko Guardiola looking so comfortable in that centre back position. I know it's just Huddersfield, but the confidence with which Josko Guardiola is playing has been very good in that centre back position. Josko Guardiola, Jack Grealish. He's lost the ball. It was a heavy touch. But again, I think with Pep playing Josko Guardiola in that left back position, I think we won't understand as fans now, and Josko Guardiola might not understand now, but I think going into the future, there'll be times when as a centre back you'll be found in those positions covering. I think at that time it will be very much helpful to him. That's a good ball, Sergio Gomez. You know, even till date, people actually think, why did Pep play Foden at left back in his early days? Just think Pep wanted Foden to understand the defensive part of the game as well, and all of that learning is now coming to fruition if you observe. Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob, Oscar dribble, dribble, dribble. That is a wonderful dribble from Oscar Bob. That is great close control and dribbling from Oscar Bob, to be honest. City not letting go of the ball. I don't think even Huddersfield Town has had a single shot on target, to be honest, I think. That's a good ball, but that's very good defending from Sergio Gomez tracking back. I think we are actually out of the transfer race for Valentin Barco. The news is that Brighton are now prepared to not trigger his release clause, but they are in advanced talks for him. I think Pep has seen Sergio Gomez and has thought that I have Sergio Gomez. Why do I need Valentin Barco? Jack Grealish. That is great from Oscar Bob on the half turn. Good shot. Just missed the target from there. But that is excellent wing play there from Oscar Bob. Just missed the target, but that is wonderful wing play from Oscar Bob. I think as a whole, Oscar Bob is a better winger than Cole Palmer, to be honest. And Oscar Bob's best position is not even on the wing; it's in the midfield. Erling Haaland's in there watching from the crowd. Switch out wide to Sergio Gomez. Gomez has kept the ball exceptionally well today. Ball out to Rico Lewis. think Ruben Diaz is fancying a shot there, but Josko Guardiola does well. Kovacic to Rico Luz. I think there's a ball on to Oscar Bob, to be honest. Matthews Nunes has quietly had a impressive game. Matthews Nunes has done the simple things right. I think when you do the simple things right, you don't get noticed as much. Phil Foden. City are just not giving the ball to Huddersfield Town. Ruben Diaz. The passing has been sublime. It's been incisive at times as well. I think Rico Lewis could have just passed it back. And there comes the king. There comes the king. It's the return of the king. KDB, Kevin De Bruyne. The king comes on. The king returns. I hope it's not for Phil Foden because I already want to see both of them playing together. Exactly when the king comes, KDB on his return. KDB comes. The king is back. King Kevin is back. The god of big games, Kevin De Bruyne, KDB, and Doku. Oh, I didn't notice that. And Doku is also coming. And who are the players of? I know for one is interesting. It's very interesting when I because Grealish and Alvarez are off, which means probably Oscar Bob plays as a striker. And I mean, I want to see both KDB and Foden play in that attacking midfield role. Two number 10s. That's what I want them to play. And look at Ruben Diaz giving him the captain's armband as well. Wow, this is just superb. Kevin De Bruyne's back. What a New Year gift for all of City's fans. If there's one thing that Pep wanted Santa Claus to give him on Christmas, this is the one. A fit and healthy KDB. Interesting. For everyone who's told how will Foden and KDB play, look at it. Both are playing in attacking midfield roles. I mean, you could say Foden is the false nine, but Oscar Bob, yes, Oscar Bob is playing in the striker role. And Oscar Bob scores. What a goal! What a goal! But is it a deflection? Is it a deflection or is it a chip from Oscar Bob? Because looking at the reaction of Oscar Bob, it almost seems like when he didn't know what was it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Oscar Bob scores, but I would like to see the replay because I thought there was a bit of a deflection in that. He's definitely onside, Oscar Bob. Can't see it from that angle. Well, I don't think there's any deflection there. Oscar Bob does extremely well. But for me, the assist was very good. KDB effect. And the assist was superb. Like, look at Matthews Nunez when I look at Matthews Nunez controlling the ball. like he's come straight up the Barcelona Academy. What a control and pass from Matthews Nunez. Oscar Bob scores. Again, a great goal for our academy. I want KDB to score as well, but for me, the position of both Foden and KDB is reminiscent of what we are going to get. Two attacking midfielders. We haven't seen that since the days of David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne have played together. Or maybe you would argue Xavi and Fabregas under Pep Guardiola. Wow, both Foden and KDB creating for us. That would just be, and with Jeremy Doku and Erling Haaland up front as well. That would be something else for us. Jeremy Doku playing the first time with KDB. City get the ball back early. Ortega makes a very good save. Just don't think we will. We want to maintain a clean sheet. I think it's inauspicious for us to try and maintain a clean sheet, to be honest. Otherwise, what was that? The Huddersfield striker was one on one. But again, the chip from Oscar Bob seriously was just. I didn't know how to react honestly because my first reaction was surely it must have been a deflection. Otherwise, how could a ball go in like that? But it's just the talent of Oscar Bob. The chip was so good. Again, fantastic save from Stefan Ortega, GSK's favorite goalkeeper. Actually, I feel bad for Stefan Ortega because I think it was even in the last season we are out of the Carabao Cup too early on, and Ortega doesn't get much time. I think for me, the top three goalkeepers are Allison and Edison. There's always that comparison. I won't go into that debate, but whichever order you put Allison, Edison, and the third best goalkeeper in the league for me is Stefan Ortega. People say Nick Pope, but Nick Pope is not good on the ball. I would say both the aspects combined together. I think Ortega is the third best goalkeeper in the Premier League. That's how good Stefan Ortega is. Matthews Nunez, that was as bad of a pass you'll see today from any City player, but Jeremy Doku, Josko Guardiola, he's been commanding today. He's been better than Diaz today, to be honest. Kevin De Bruyne trying to shake off whatever rustiness there could be this game. I think he'll be ready for a start against Newcastle, to be honest. Jeremy Doku there one on one. Again, I think Huddersfield Town is trying those balls down the channels, but it's actually good work back there by Phil Foden. Great defensive work by Phil Foden. JSK says if that was Edison, it would be a goal. Edison hates clean sheets, JSK. Edison hates clean sheets. He doesn't want to keep clean sheets. He hates the number zero in front of the opponent's goal. It at least needs to be one minimum. JSK says, by the way, what the FSD is doing? Did he and Maguire swap their souls? Ruben Diaz has not been as good as the previous season. I agree. He's made mistakes. Chelsea game, it was his mistake. Spurs game, he made mistakes. But Just think, come February, I think we expect all of these people to get back into form. Vinay says someone needs to give Diaz a haircut. but I think even last season, but I think even uh, last season as well, I think Ruben Diaz was not doing good. Phil Foden, what a goal! What a form this guy is in. Phil Foden. I think he's the best player in the Premier League right now, currently on form. What a goal by Phil Foden. What a strike that is. Who? Jude Bellingham. Who? Jude Bellingham. Who? This is Phil Foden. And look at Erling Haaland with that smile, with that greeny smile. If you look at Erling Haaland's smile after Foden's goal, he's like rubbing his hands. Pep, why didn't you name me on the bench? I also would like to join them. Wow. And look at Kovacic as well. I think it was Kovacic with the back heel. That was a wonderful back heel from Kovacic. It was unsavable. It was unsavable. And what a strike from Phil Foden. The only thing I would say is Jude who? Jude Bellingham who? JSK's goal again, Phil Foden. Jude Bellingham who? JSK, Jude Bellingham who? This is Phil Foden. I just hope Pep doesn't put Foden back on the bloody right wing again. The one thing I would tell Pep is please play Foden like you're playing in this game. Both Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden centrally. But again, what a form Foden is in. I would love Foden to hit a hat trick, to be honest. What a day for the academy, right? Foden 2 goals, Oscar Bob 1 goal, 3 goals from our academy. I don't know why Foden left it there, but Kevin De Bruyne, Oscar Bob, back to Kevin De Bruyne. Just a little bit rusty, Kevin De Bruyne, like you expect after a long 6 month injury layoff. Jeremy Doku just dribbles past the Huddersfield player like he didn't exist. Ah, Kevin De Bruyne he's almost very close to his usual long range banger. I mean, just imagine having Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden both in the midfield. I know with David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne were, when we had them both were very creative, but with KDB and Foden, now I think you also have two people who can get those goals centrally as well. Both are heavy goal scorers. Both are from midfield. Both are excellent at striking the ball from midfield. So it will be exciting, and also pair with that Jeremy Doku. Stretching our defense, stretching the opponent's defense as well. So suddenly, if the opponents defend narrow, it will have Jeremy Doku dribbling against them one on one, entering the box, which is never a good idea. I don't care who you are as a defender. So if someone goes to Jeremy Doku, then the narrow defense of the opposition, it stretches wide, and people like Ford and Kevin De Bruyne can strike the ball from the midfield. So it's just exciting times on how Pep utilizes both KDB and Foden in the team. Huddersfield have a chance to counter-attack, but that is excellent blocking off there from Josko Guardiol. Mateo Kovacic is back, and that's good defending. Josko Guardiol, he's been immense today, Josko Guardiol, to be honest. Stefan Ortega has an easy catch. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Pep shifts Jack Grealish onto the right hand side because you have Phil Foden and Kevin De Bruyne. Pep would say both Doku and Grealish to stay wide, stretch the defense, which means opponents will not know whether to go into them or whether to stay narrow. This is just gonna be superb. It's gonna be exciting City from now on. Don't remember such a comfortable evening for quite a few months, to be honest. That ball's overhit and it goes out. Rico Lewis has to work on his crossing skills, but I was just thinking of how would it be for Jan Kuto to City because I don't think Pepsi's Rico Lewis is a right back, but then you see Pepsi's Rico Lewis in the midfield. But then you see Jan Kuto, the way he comes inside, the how comfortable he's on the ball, the way he can go out wide and put in those crosses. I mean, you look at two players in the Girona side, Savinho and Jan Kuto, and you think these two players are like perfectly manufactured from Pep Guardiola in a laboratory. They're so good. Again, Josko Guardiola, he's been immense. Pep, please play Josko Guardiola in the centre back position and play Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden in the attacking midfield positions. That's the only thing I would say to Pep. 20 minutes of relaxation, there's that half an hour of soothing music. That's how it is feeling now. 20 minutes of absolute relaxation and watching the King play. King Kevin. I think everyone's had a good game, but for me, the standout one is Josko Guardiola. I mean, obviously Phil Foden, but apart from Foden, Josko Guardiola for me has had one of his best games in a City shirt, even though it's just Huddersfield. You have to defend against the attacker. Kevin De Bruyne is on the ball. He plays in Oscar Bob. What a ball from Oscar Bob! And what a goal from Jeremy Doku! Wow! What a goal from Jeremy Doku. I mean, that phase of play was just magical. That phase of play was just magical. Was it Matthews Nunez, Kevin De Bruyne, Jeremy Doku? No, it was Oscar Bob, Kevin De Bruyne, and Jeremy Doku. Wow, what a magical phase of play that was, City. Kevin De Bruyne, Oscar Bob. Look at the maturity of Oscar Bob there. And look at the assist from Kevin De Bruyne. Already one assist. Kevin De Bruyne. He's got the clock ticking. He's got the clock ticking. That goal from Doku was just fantastic, right? Vinay, that goal from Doku was just fantastic. It was just superb. KDB is already up. He just needed 10 minutes. He just needed 15 minutes to shake off his rustiness and is already off. But for me, Vinay, that pass from Oscar Bob to Kevin De Bruyne is just sublime. That is not an easy pass to make. If you don't show me who the player is, but just show me the pass which Oscar Bob made to Kevin De Bruyne, I would think this is a mature 26, 27-year-old Premier League footballer who's had a lot of experience under his belt. That pass is not easy. That pass is not easy at all. Says, and Doku to the finish. It's been written to the stars this season. The only thing missing here is it's been written to Cook this season. It's the only thing missing here is Erling Haaland. That's what Vinay. I think when Haaland plays and when Foden and Kevin De Bruyne play together and Doku is out wide, I think defenses will have a dilemma. Should we go tight to Doku? Then you're leaving midfield spaces for players like De Bruyne and Foden who can shoot from the midfield. If you don't, then you have people like Doku who can finish like this. And that wasn't an easy, not an easy pass from Oscar Bob. Not at all an easy assist from Kevin De Bruyne. Only KDB could have done it. Not an easy finish from Doku. On the volley, there was no pace as well on the ball. So three fantastic pieces of play here. And it's a five-star performance. And Doku as well, returning from injury. Who's the player, by the way, who's come on? Foden's off and there's someone who's come on. I just didn't see who it is. Oh, this is interesting. Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton has come on as well. For the first time for the last 20 minutes, along with added time, last 15-20 minutes, we are going to see two true wingers, Micah Hamilton and Jeremy Doku. Oh, we for the last 15 minutes, we are going to see Micah Hamilton, Jeremy Doku, two wingers, Kevin De Bruyne playing beside them. Wow, Oscar Bob is the striker, I think. JSK says, imagine if he gets the longevity of Modric, Luka Modric. I hope he gets it. I hope he gets it, JSK. I hope he gets the longevity of Modric. But I think with Luka Modric, another thing is, oh, again, very good run there from Micah. Look at the run. Look at the run and the ball in from Micah Hamilton over there. This guy is like a hot molten iron. Just look at what Micah Hamilton had done on his first touch. Bang, bang. Almost onto Oscar Bob. What I would say to Pep is start Doku on one side and Micah Hamilton on the other side. There's no need of Jack Grealish or anything who always plays back passes. Ah! Sergio Gomez. We know that he can strike. He can strike from distance. What a shot from Sergio Gomez over there. I honestly think there are two turning points in the season till now. One is the Crystal Palace draw where Foden actually felt very bad and he's actually learned from that experience. But I think the best Oscar Bob there, Kevin De Bruyne, King Kevin. Yeah, so I think the second turning point is the match against Everton. In the game against Everton, we were 2-1 up, and then Dominic Calvert-Lewin has a one has an open goal, and he hits it out. I think if that went in, the season would have been different. But that was just the piece of the luck we needed, and I think from there we win that Everton game 3-1, and I think from there our season I think has officially begun from that game against Everton. That too, we were 1-0 down, we were out, no a lack of creative ideas, nothing, and we managed to pull it 3-1. JSK's this Micah Hamilton dribbling is, I think it's a bit different to Doku. It's more, I think Doku's dribbling is not technically this thing. I mean, dribbling doesn't have to be technically this thing. Every person has his own unique style, but Doku has his own unique style. But for me, with Micah Hamilton, it's almost like, technically his dribbling is just perfect. Like it's textbook dribbling style, very conservative and stuff. Jeremy Doku had a decent chance to had a chance to put a decent cross in, but I think I'm very excited by this seeing Micah Hamilton and Jeremy Doku play on either wings. By the way, JSK, regarding the Modric thing, I think one of the problems is Modric played in La Liga, which means, it's not as physical as the Premier League. The demands of the games are not as physical and stuff. And most of the time, you're playing. I mean, I don't think below the top two, I don't think there's any real. Okay, Atletico Madrid is there, but below the top three, I don't think there is any good competition in La Liga, to be honest. Yes, Girona came this season, but in general, so that means it's generally six big games a season, and that's it in La Liga. But in the Premier League, even bloody the 20th team and stuff, the 19th team, look at how Luton's playing. Look at how what's Norwich City played and defeated us, I think, 3, 4 seasons back. So I think even the 19th team, 18th team, the competition is too much, the physicality is too much in the Premier League. So I think that's the only concern with KDB. I think it depends on how Pep manages his minutes. Vinay says we need Kova and Stones fit. The fitness of Stones is very important, Vinay, because I don't think we have anyone who can do the Stones role. With Kovacic, I think we have Matthews Nunez who could maybe do that. And also, I think with Kovacic, I think with Kovacic, now that you're playing both Kevin De Bruyne and Foden in the midfield, I think the minutes of Kovacic will be limited as well, I think. But John Stones, I don't think we have another player who could do the John Stones role. My biggest bet would be Josko Guardiola doing the John Stones role, but Pep doesn't want to try him there. Micah Hamilton on the ball. Maturity of Micah Hamilton is superb. He knows when to pass back, when to dribble. I think it was Pep Guardiola or Jose Mourinho. I don't remember, but it was a very big coach who said the greatest thing about people who can dribble well is it's knowing when not to dribble and not dribbling. Because I think that is when you have a tendency to lose the ball and set yourself up on the counter. That's a penalty. Ah, Jeska says Stone's doing his own competition with Reece James. My God, thanks Jeska that we had not got Reece James as a replacement for Kyle Walker, to be honest, because there were some talks doing the rounds that Reece Pep sees Reece James as a successor to Kyle Walker. Not with this injury record. We do not want another Benjamin Mendy there. But honestly, I think on the transfer front, Pedro Porro is a name that we are hearing a lot, especially the last 2 3 days regarding Kyle Walker's replacement. It seems now City see Pedro Porro as a long-term replacement of Kyle Walker. I'm like, he was your player. You sold him to Sporting, if I'm not wrong. And then when Spurs bid for him, you had the right to refusal clause, 40 million pounds. I don't know what was that. And now negotiating with Daniel Levy is. I think there are two people who you just don't want to negotiate in this world. One is Napoli president, and the other is Daniel Levy. Look at what he did to us with that Harry Kane thing. Don't know with this fullback thing because we need a replacement next season. At least we need to start looking for a replacement next season. Kyle Walker. JSK says Spurs won't sell him. Exactly, JSK. We had a chance. We had the buyback clause on him. He was our player who went to Sporting. We had a buyback clause on him and we refused to take it. And he's performing so well. For me, he's in the top five fullbacks in the league, Pedro Porro. And you know what? He has very good pace. No one in this world will have the pace of Kyle Walker ever. Maybe Usain Bolt will come close, but generally Pedro Porro has a great delivery on him as well. So I don't know why we did not go for him back then. Maybe back then Pep thought he will play this four centre back system forever and stuff. Just don't know. Micah Hamilton, Matthews Nunes, Kevin De Bruyne. Again a good ball. Micah Hamilton collects it and Micah Hamilton to Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob, Kevin De Bruyne. All the kicks are so odd by Kevin De Bruyne that they just want to give him the ball. Matthews Nunes, Kevin De Bruyne. JSK says Denzel Dumfries or Jan Kuto. Denzel Dumfries is the Inter one, right? Yeah. With Jan, I think Jan Kuto for me would be the more, Inter are on the verge of bankruptcy and reports are like they have to sell players. But Jan Kuto for me looks the most realistic because the guy was, they call him the next Danny Alves. The guy, you know, always wanted to play at City, He had a lot of offers from other clubs last season on a permanent this thing, a lot of big clubs. It seems Barcelona wanted to take him, but Pep said no. Jan Couto has been on loan for at least 3 to 4 years. This season he's been the best right back in La Liga. He's been tearing defenses apart. So so I think Jan Couto for me would be the best option. That's a good save from Stefan Ortega to be honest. Just because this Henry was more faster than Kyle Walker. Again, it's a bit difficult to tell JSK. Even if he would have been faster by not much, to be honest, I think JSK. But Kyle Walker's very fast as well. It will be difficult because Leroy Sané is very fast, and once Leroy Sané said maybe we are equal in speed, and and once he actually said Leroy Sané that walks is a bit more. I mean, Leroy Sané said that over a sprint of what 50 meters or so, Walker is definitely faster. But from a standing position of a 20-meter sprint, then I'm faster. I think Thierry Henry is faster, but I think it's over a shorter distance. Whereas Walker, I think over a longer distance, Walker is faster over 50 meters or so. When I says look at passes of KD, they're just sublime. It just took him 15 minutes. 15 minutes. KDB, and then he got his first assist and is already looking sublime. That's why they call him the god. The god has returned back finally. King Kevin, Jeremy Doku. JSK says Andre was faster than Mbappe. I mean, I've actually seen Mbappe overtake Walker, but those are over, those 20-meter sprints, Mbappe, or 10-meter sprints. Mbappe, he stops the ball and then suddenly from a standing still position, he goes off on pace. In those situations, I've seen Mbappe overtake Walker. But for me, the example was Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior had a head start and it was a 50-meter sprint. If you see last season Champions League, and Walker made up. Even though Vinicius Junior had a head start, Walker made up that distance over a sprint of 50 meters. I think over a sprint of at least 50 meters, I think Walker is faster than many people. But yeah, from a standing still position, I don't think Walker is faster than Henry or Mbappe. That's a very good ball. Kevin De Bruyne almost came onto it, to be honest. And it's a free kick, Huddersfield's way. By the way, talking about fullbacks, there's another link, Jeremy Frimpong. Seems that Jeremy Frimpong also wants to move on from Bayer Leverkusen. There's some news that he is not available this winter, surely because they're in the title race and stuff. But he's available in the summer, Jeremy Frimpong. And a lot of people are telling, a lot of City fans are also telling that Jeremy Frimpong could be a good option. But for me, I do not want a right-sided Zinchenko. That's the only thing. Jeremy Frimpong is shit defensively. Do not want Jeremy Frimpong nowhere near City. Like JSK mentioned, I think it's either Jan Koto or it's Denzel Dumfries. Micah Hamilton, can we see one more KDB assist? These last 3 minutes of added time. Look at the confidence with which KDB comes onto the ball. He's just got a unique style on his own. He is a Premier League great for me. It's a free kick for City and time for KDB to take the free kick. There was some insane stat that in the top five, for all the players who have played in the top five European leagues, if you count the total number of assists, Messi is first and KDB is second. Then KDB is some 50 assists away from Messi. Just being in that day, being in that conversation, being able to just catch Messi, you can just see KDB for me is a Premier League great. He is one of the best players to have ever graced the Premier League. Kevin De Bruyne over the free kick there. But it's Sergio Gomez who strikes it. That's the humbleness, that's the humility of Kevin De Bruyne. What a ball from Kevin De Bruyne to find Jeremy Doku. Doku needs to practice his control more because he'll be getting more such balls. That's wonderful from Josko Guardiola. It's almost close to full time. And yes, it's the final whistle. When I says full time, yes, it's the full time. When I yes, what we wanted to see. Since when we wanted to see this? When I since Diwali, right? Diwali was somewhere in November, right? The first week of November or so. From then, we never had a comfortable viewing like this, right? It was always tense. Chelsea tense, Spurs tense, Liverpool tense, Everton tense, Crystal Palace was tense. Sheffield United also was a bit tense till the 70th minute. This was such a it is almost a chill evening for all of us. Just watch the match, enjoy City getting 5 goals, the academy, this thing. But Phil Foden for me, Phil Foden has made sure that even if Kevin De Bruyne returns, he will not be dropped. He cannot be dropped. I think this is what Pep Guardiola wanted from Foden as well. Show me why I should not drop you, and Phil Foden has showed. I think every game that Foden has played in the last 2, 3 matches, Three, four matches he's scored or he's assisted, right? I think of the last four matches he's played, I think he's man of the match of all the four matches. Phil Foden has been that good. Phil Foden, what a match! A perfect match. Now look forward to Newcastle, and after that off we go on a winter break and switch on our machine, switch on our year-ending machine. You know, the machine that starts from February and goes on till May. Switch on that. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for joining me. Thanks a lot again. It's been great, a pleasure viewing this match with all of you guys. It's been fantastic. Hopefully, we do something on the transfer window, but we'll see about that. Honestly, it's been a great performance for us. Gautam says Foden is bliss. Gautam, I think you have now tell us the truth. Tell all of us the truth, Gautam. I think you have sent some bliss over to Phil Foden. I think you have couriered some bliss over to Phil Foden. That's why Phil Foden suddenly in the last three matches has been so blissful. Man of the match in the last three, four matches. But what a game this is. What a game. See you all guys and take care again.